presenting NBC Sports, home of the NASCAR race for the championship. This is the Discover Card Countdown to Green as we get ready to go racing.
The Lowe's Motor Speedway is about 12 miles northeast of downtown Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, this 43-year-old track plays host to the tightest championship race in Winston Cup history. There are just 6 races remaining, so when the smoke clears in Charlotte, who will be leading the points? It is the trophy every racer wants, but suddenly this season, it seems that no one can hold on to it. Past champions, future stars, skilled veterans, each dreaming of hoisting the Winston Cup, yet fearful of the nightmare where it slips away.
Oh, hard into the wall. Sterling Marlin, a vicious crash. Problems for Jeff Gordon. Now he's coming to pit road under green.
We had a glimpse of hope for the championship, and these last 3 weeks have been horrible.
We'll see. It's been a bad place to be in leading points these days. Everybody keeps having trouble, so hopefully we can just take it and hang on.
You're in locked up on some.
You're going to have to pay it, buddy. The right front is junk.
A tough break for today's point leader.
Whoever's been leading these points has had nothing but problems, so I'm glad we don't have to worry about that voodoo doll on our backs.
In recent weeks, we have watched the best fall like the rest. The season-long hustle and muscle of racing has come down to a 6-week survival test. Now the chase and the challenge have come to Charlotte, and the championship contenders are wondering, is the Winston Cup trophy trying to lure its next victor or victim?
Give me fuel, give me fire, give me double shot it down.
NBC Sports is live at the Lowe's Motor Speedway as the NASCAR Winston Cup Series gets ready for the UAW GM Quality 500. Today, this exciting championship race comes to one of the sport's most popular tracks. 43 drivers are in this race. 4 of them have a chance to leave here as the leader in the race for the championship. Hello everyone, I'm Bill Weber, and welcome to Charlotte, where it is raining, and it has been most of the morning. In fact, we had a pretty spectacular thunderstorm, complete with lightning, move through here between 8 and 9:30 this morning. It stopped briefly, they started to dry the track, but it is raining now. I am told that the forecast says that it will stop raining early this afternoon. When it does, we'll dry the track and then throw the green flag on the UAW GM Quality 500 for the NASCAR Winston Cup Series, and it should be quite a race. Now, qualifying for the second straight week was washed out by rain. That means the field is set by the NASCAR rule book. Basically, that's owners' points and past winners. So once again, the guys at the top of the championship standings are at the front of the field. For the first time since his Winston Cup career began on February 14th, 1999, Tony Stewart leads the championship chase. After the season opening Daytona 500, he was 43rd in points. Today, he is number 1 and standing by with Dave Burns.
Well, and the question, Bill, for Tony to start with is, given the fact that the points leaders have lost it along the way, do you want it right now? Do you want the point lead?
Trust me, I've ran for many championships in the past. It doesn't bother me to lead the points. If anything, it makes it a little easier now. I mean, we've raced hard to get here, and the good thing is we got 6 good races coming up at tracks that we've won at 4 of the 6, and we ran second here last year, and I think the only other track we haven't won at is Rockingham. We've run in the top 5 there in the past, so we're at a stretch of races that we always typically have run well at in the past, and just get the rain out of the way where we get the Home Depot Pontiac out there. We get started in a good starting spot today, obviously on the pole, and you just try to go out there and have solid runs, and we're not changing our game plan. I mean, we raced hard and tried to win every race we've been into, and that's what's got us to this point, and we're not going to change. We're not worrying about point racing. You guys are all talking about points. I'm talking about trying to figure out how to win the last 6 races.
And that is important, going to tracks where you have the confidence, you've got the setup notes. You know you can do well in the late part of the season, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a pretty good history. I mean, the last 3 years we've been really strong this time of the year, and there's no guarantees by any means. I mean, you look what happened last week to Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin and Jimmy Johnson, and the same kind of stuff can happen to us this week. But that's why I say we just don't worry about it. I mean, there's so much racing left to do that it's great to be in the points lead. It's something that this Home Depot team's definitely needed, and it's finally nice to reward them for all the hard work they've done this year and get us here. But like I say, we still got 6 races to go, so my mindset's we got to race hard for 6 more weeks, and everybody else worry about point race, and I'm worried about winning races, so we'll see how it shakes out.
Talk about how hard they've worked this weekend. Qualifying rained out on Thursday, but you got all your practice in on Saturday. How good's the car?
Car was really good yesterday. I was really happy with it. I knew we were going to have a good car all weekend on Thursday when we were here for qualifying practice. It always seems like that if the car is good in qualifying practice, we're good all weekend. And the car's been really, really balanced. It's very, very drivable, and feel confident that I can move around the racetrack if I need to, but it's working really good around the bottom too. And
last year, almost the win, couldn't quite catch Sterling. Have you learned from last year, and do you think you have an edge this year that you didn't have last year?
Well, it's a different day. I mean, the weather's different. Aero packages have changed since then. Just a lot of different variables. But like I say, this has been a track that we've always ran well. Last fall was my best run ever here. But we ran good in the spring here, and I feel confident we're going to have a really good day today. I mean, you never can predict exactly what's going to happen, but I told Greg after the first run yesterday morning, I was pretty happy with my car, and all we did was just fine tune on it all day. So pretty excited about getting racing today.
And how about the High Line? You told BP yesterday you'd run the High Line maybe once, maybe 2 laps just for him. Now with the track being washed down, what do you think of that?
It might take a little longer to get up there, but I'm sticking to my word. I mean, BP, I'm going to get you a couple laps up there. I don't know how productive I'll be, but I will definitely get up on the top and rim ride a couple laps like the old dirt track days.
All right, Director Mike Wells, make sure you're on Tony Stewart when he runs that High Line, because it could be exciting here. It always is at Lowe's. He goes for his first win. Again, his best finish last year was second. He'll try to take it home today. To Marty Snyder.
Well, Dave, I think Mark Martin might try that High Line as well here at Lowe's Motor Speedway today, but let's talk about last week first before we talk about this week's. Lost 61 points, now 72 behind. What was the final evaluation on the steering box problem that, before the race even started?
It was an assembly problem, and to make a long story short, whenever you turn the steering to the right really quick, it would lock up, and we never turned it that fast in practice. To the right, so just one of those things. Never heard of it happening. I don't understand exactly how the fluid moves in the steering box, but it would block off and lock up whenever you turn to the right real quick.
And strange in the fact that we started by points and Jimmy Johnson was on the inside of you, and you really didn't have anywhere to go. He didn't have anywhere to go. And nobody expected that.
I didn't know what. I was just in shock. I just couldn't figure out what was going on, and I almost ran into the pit wall. It's just, I'm sure he was in shock too. Unfortunately, I wasn't far enough ahead of him to pass in front of him, and I guess it could have been worse. It could have happened after the race got going or something. But you just have to take the cards you're dealt and do the best you can with them, and that's what we did with the rest of the race, and that's what we do every race, is try to minimize the damage, maximize the points, whether it's 30th place we're racing for or first place.
You talk about the cards you were dealt. The hand you had here in May was pretty awesome. This is not the car you have here this weekend that won the race in May. Why is that?
We brought 2 cars to a test here in May, and the one that I have here is the one I said that's the daytime car, and the other one I said was the nighttime car. So this one did better during the day, and the other one did a little bit better at night. Both of them were really good cars, and this is a great car, and we have a lot of confidence in it.
Let's talk about this weather and the change that it's going to have on this racetrack. Boy, we practiced in, 80-degree temperature yesterday. It was hot and slick out there. Now it's going to be cooler, and the rain has washed the rubber off the track. How will that change the race, and how will that affect the race cars?
Should tighten the cars up. It should be a lot more. It could be a night race, But the way our car works yesterday, it won't mind that. Our car gave us a fit yesterday, and so I think that the cooler it is, the better we'll be. We may have to undo some of the things that we did to the car to try to make it good in the sun and the 80-degree weather, but you know, we should have a good long-run car. Certainly when the green flag comes out, we won't charge to the front and run and hide, I don't think. But I think as the race wears on, in typical fashion of Ben Leslie's cars and this team's cars and the setups, that it should get stronger as we go.
In terms of the championship, you and I were just talking about it. Do you guys feel like that you have to have a mistake-free rest of the season in order to win this championship, Mark?
Well, we've had, you know, in the last 3 races, we've had 2 devastating problems, neither of which we really felt we had any control over. So those are the things that put you out. I've said all along, it isn't your good races that will determine the championship. It's the bad races. And we were leading before we got into those bad races. So obviously, I still say that will be the determining factor, as you know, everybody in the top 8 in points or top 10, where they finish will be determined by their bad races.
And there you go, and he's trying to have a good race here this weekend. Been looking forward to this race since May. There's only been 5 sweeps, a season sweep in the 42-year history of this track. Mark Martin trying to pull off number 6. Matt Yoakum.